Hello everybody, welcome back to the workshop. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how I do cleanup work on some of my ironwork items. Now, you guys that have been with the channel for a long time, you've probably seen this in a few videos here and there, but I thought I'd take and share a few thoughts on why you should go the extra mile with your ironwork. So I was working on these oak leaf brackets here. I've got one locked up in the vise. Basically, they're like this. They're meant to take and be for curtain tiebacks. They hold curtains back, and just making them up for the house here for Jessica. And they're pretty decent right off the forge. I mean, they're okay. They're a forged item, right? You could definitely tell that they're a forged item. But even though that they are a forged item, we should do our best to try to clean these up to a place that they look more refined than just a forged item. That means, you know, if there's any weird hammer blows or things like that, or chop marks that shouldn't be there, you need to take and grind or polish those things out, wire wheel it good, maybe rescale the piece. Again, take that extra mile of finish work. Will really bring some extra value, and it will usually up the dollar amount that you can get for your ironwork. Now, there is a law of diminishing returns. You can get so tied up and so worried about the finish and it not being absolutely perfect, and you're making $5 on the item, or the max you can sell the item for is maybe $10. And then at that point, again, there's a bit of a laws of diminishing returns. None of us want to take and put out ironwork that we aren't happy with, or that would take and discredit, right, the name of our forge, or whatever, you know, that you're trying to go for, right? Like, you know, you want to have pride in your work, and you want good quality craftsmanship to be associated with the name of your forge, or any business, right? You want to have good quality craftsmanship. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I do that real quick. We're going to get started here. I've got a Bosch angle grinder. This is a variable speed angle grinder. They don't make this current model anymore, but they do make one exactly like it. I'll put the link to that. That's an Amazon affiliate link. That means if you purchase through the link, full disclosure, I get a little small kickback for sending you to Amazon, basically. I get a little small percentage kickback if you decide to purchase an angle grinder through Amazon. If you don't, use it as a tool to take and read up on this, and maybe try to find this in your local hardware store. That way you're not paying shipping and all that other jazz there. But the important portion of why I'm recommending this angle grinder is because this angle grinder has variable speed to it. It has a little selector switch on the back side that I can adjust the speed of this angle grinder. And that's very critical if you're going to be doing this type of finish work where there's a lot of edges that it can catch. The other part that I do for the finish work is that the wire wheel itself, I like to use a knotted cup wheel, or just a knotted wire wheel. I do not like using the ones that are just a loose wire wheel. They have a tendency to not only grab more, but throw those little fleekers at you a lot more. And if anybody's ever used a wire wheel on an angle grinder, you'll know what I mean about the little fleekers. They can smart pretty darn heavy. So you want to have your piece locked up good in the vise. Have a good pair of safety glasses to be able to don on. And then we're going to go right to it here. We're going to go right to the angle grinding. When you work this, I'm using gloves. Yes, I'm using gloves. That isn't because I'm going to be getting anywhere near the angle grinder itself, the wheel itself, but I'm using that to protect my hands from those fleekers that still come off these. They're a little smaller, but at least they're not, you know, 1.5 inches long and get thrown into your belly button. So again, angle grinder set on low. That's on a setting of 2. That's on a setting of 1. Now you're going to be using that very same thing. You're going to be doing this same thing for all the rest of this piece. I'm not going to make you watch all of that. I'm just going to show you this next little part. So this really will take and get the pop. So it's already starting to shine up quite a bit as opposed to this one. Hopefully you guys can see that in camera there. It's already starting to shine up quite a bit as opposed to this dull colored one or the raw forged color one. It's already starting to look more refined or so. So the next thing that we'll do to take and give it this additional pop is we will take this piece, lock it off again in the vise at a nice comfortable angle that it can be worked on. Lock it in tight, make sure it's got a good grip, the vise has a good grip on it. And we're going to change out this wire wheel for a sanding pad. Now this is just a flat sanding pad. I get these at Harbor Freight. They're a dime a dozen. You can get them anywhere you want. I do that, and then I like to use a, I'll put a link to this type of thing so you can read up on it. Again, affiliate links, full disclosure. And by the way, just about affiliate links. When you click on affiliate links, it doesn't cost you more to click on an affiliate link. It at no extra cost to you. So it's a great way of supporting a channel like mine or others that say they have an affiliate link in the descriptions. Don't worry about that charging you more money because you went through that link. It's just again, they give you a slight kickback for just directing traffic to the website. But anywho, back onto the track here. I like to use these 320 grit Diablo brand. They're made in Switzerland. On this little sanding disc pad, again, keeping it on gear 1 of this thing. And now I'm going to take and sand the highs. Okay, so now that we've got the highs sanded, hopefully you guys can start seeing the difference between these two leaves here up against my black shirt. That's the difference right there. I already have one of these done, one of the ones we were working on in a previous video just a few days ago. And once you get them painted, it changes the look of this 110%. When you spray paint on something, this is a Rust-Oleum clear enamel finish. When you spray on it, it darkens out the background. It darkens the shiny spots just a little bit as well, but not as much. So those bright areas just really pop. So your dark areas get darker and your brighter areas get a slight bit darker, but they stay shiny. And that is the difference, you know, before just leaving it like this. If you were to spray this one here just like it is, it would just go dull black basically, and it would have you would have to look really close to it to take and see all of that texture and all the hammer marks that you're trying to put in there for the veining of the leaves and whatnot. So it's very important, I pose it to you, that it's very important to do this type of thing here and, you know, highlight the work that you've put into it. Now, every last one of these hammer blows was meant to be here. This is a great place to take and talk about that. It's very easy to pass off basically junk hammer control for good ironwork, but that's not. You may fool the consumer, but everybody else that you may meet, you know, down the road, blacksmithing in the blacksmithing world, is going to know about that. So we're always trying to elevate our work, right? We're always trying to do the best for the clients and the customers. So be intentional with your hammer blows. So that means when I've worked on these leaves here, and I may not have said it in the video, but I planished out the workpiece first and gave myself a flat, clean canvas that I then could texture. Stuff like the stem, Again, I did it on the horn of the anvil, and I hit it in a very special way as I'm turning it and stuff to provide the highs and lows on the stem itself to make it look very stem-like. I didn't just leave gouges and rough marks and bite marks from vices and yada yada. I just didn't do that. I made sure it was nice and cleanly forged when I drew it out, and then I went ahead and lumpied it all up after the fact. These few little key things will help your work look years beyond what your current skill level is right now if you're just beginning in this craft. So take that little bit extra time into finish work, and you will be able to make work that looks just like this, if not better. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to leave a like, comment down below what you thought. And if you would like to take and support more content like this and videos like this, the cheapest and easiest way of doing that is sharing this video around with your friends if you found that it was helpful and informative. That really does help Jessica and I here at Christ Center Ironworks out a lot. And if you would like to help support us financially producing these videos, a great way of you doing that is to take and check out our website over at blacksmithpdfs.com and consider purchasing yourself a power hammer plan, a bundle, or an ebook that we've written on the subject of blacksmithing in business. So I hope that that'll be helpful to you. And as always, God bless you, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.